All right, hello and welcome to another live coaching with Leslie. I am so excited that you are here, whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay. I am pumped that you are here with me, spending some time out of your busy day. I really do appreciate it. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, here's what I want you to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap that bell icon so that you can be notified whenever we have anything going on, whether it's these live shows or the video series that we have coming up. I got a whole lot of great stuff coming your way that you won't want to miss. It's gonna be fun. Welcome to those of you that are joining live right now. I see we have A. Cooper here. Let me pop you on there. You said, "Hello, Leslie. I recently watched your YouTube video on the injustice of playing it safe. It was very inspiring." I am so glad to hear that. That's the reason why I create this content. I put it out there so that it can inspire others, so that it can educate others, so that it can provide value to you. So I'm so glad to hear that you found value in that. Want to remind everyone that we are doing this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, or if you want to ask a question live via Zoom, I have that as an option as well. If you're watching on social right now, there is a link there that you can click on to come over on Zoom if you have a question. You don't have to come on video and ask questions. You can type it right into the chat wherever you are watching. If you're watching right now live, let me know where you're watching from, or that you are alive and that you are here. We've got AM Dalton says, good. Oh, let me pop you on the screen really quick. Good evening from Massachusetts. Good evening. Glad to have you here. Glad to see you here and all that good stuff. So today we're doing things a little differently. You can still comment in the chat, and if you want to come over to Zoom, you can do that as well. But I want to talk about something first before we dive into any questions that may come up. I want to talk about something that I'm doing right now and give a little bit of background and a little bit of info as to what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how things are going where that is concerned. So I decided a few weeks ago that September was going to be a special month. It was going to be a month where I did something a bit differently. And you know what? It's been interesting. So here's what I decided. I decided that I was going to take a break from social media. Not just social media. I decided I was going to take a break from social media, from, traditional media, TV, and all those forms of entertainment, just to slow things down a little bit. Now, let me explain why. And some of you are watching this on social media saying, wait, what are you talking about taking a break from social media? And you're telling us about it on social media. Well, let me give you an explanation. I see we have some comments. Tashoy is in the house. What is up? I must say that you are one of the few coaches that gives very practical advice. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And A. Cooper says, totally agree. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. That's what I aim to do. I aim to give practical advice. I want you to be able to walk away and do something from what I am teaching you. All right. So I decided I'm going to take a break from social media. And the main reason for that is that I started to notice certain things about myself. Now, this may not be about you. I'm just talking about myself. But I started to notice that I was very distracted. And relatively easily distracted. I would be sitting down trying to do something simple, and then my mind would start thinking about this thing that I saw on social media or this. I'd open up my computer and I'd open up the browser and automatically go to Facebook and so on. And it just didn't feel like the way that I wanted to do things. I noticed that I'd wake up in the morning and I'm doing my reading, I'm doing my devotions, and all of a sudden I'm distracted. I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff, and I don't like that. I want to be present where I am. If I'm reading something, I want to be fully reading it. If I'm talking to someone, I want to be fully engaged with that person. If I'm hanging out with my kids, I want to be fully there. And quite frankly, I wasn't. And that didn't sit well with me. So I wanted to change something. And what I decided to do was to take this break. Why? Because I want to slow things down in my mind. I want to relax a little bit. I want to not relax a little bit, but relax a little more. I want my mind to be clear, because what I find is that when I'm just constantly going and constantly, consuming content and all of that stuff, it makes it harder for me to concentrate. And what I realize is when I take a break, when I step back and I clear my mind, it is not just easier for me to concentrate, it is also easier for me to come up with new ideas and new things that I want to try out and new ways that I want to show up in the world and all of that good stuff. So that is the reason why I decided, you know what, I'm going to take a break from social media. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter, Instagram, any of those platforms. You may see me still posting on those platforms. And the reason you see me posting on those platforms is because I have a social media manager that is posting for me. And that's what she's been doing for the last few months, and she's just continuing to do so. As I'm offline, when I have things to share, she shares them and so on. So if you see me on social media, it's not me that's actually there right now for the month of September, just so that you know how that's going. Now, in terms of how it's been going, it's actually been really good. It's been good to wake up in the morning and have a few hours where I'm just chilling and doing the stuff that I do in the morning, my morning routine and my exercise and my worship and different things. And I find that I'm a little less distracted. And that was the goal, right? I'm going to continue doing this for the month of September. And quite frankly, I'm probably going to continue doing it beyond September. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing it. I just enjoy not having the pressure of social media. I enjoy not being as distracted. And yes, a lot of what I do is dependent on social media. So I know that at some point I will come back to it and start embracing it more fully. But I want to step back for a little while. I want to step back and focus on creating. I want to step back and focus on providing value. I want to step back and just clear my mind. So that's what I'm doing. This is not me saying, hey, you come along and take a break from social media. It's just what is happening with me right now. So I figured, hey, I'd share it with you because here's what I've realized. It's so easy to just do what everybody else is doing. It's so easy to just kind of settle into the way things are done. And it's so easy to not think about what we're actually doing. And what I'm trying to do now is think about what I'm doing. Think about what I'm creating. Think about how I'm showing up in the world and all of that stuff. And be more intentional with how I spend my time. In doing this, I haven't noticed any declines in anything significant. And all I've noticed is other things getting better. So the question is, well, yeah, why not continue? Why not fully embrace it? When it comes to my business is primarily based on my one-on-one coaching, and that continues. So the business is going to continue to do fine. And the way I get my clients is by just speaking to people, and I can continue to do that. So it's just an interesting journey that I'm on now, and I just wanted to share that with you. And if you have questions about that, you can feel free to ask. Hey, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, you want to come. Wait, I don't think I posted the link on on Facebook. So let me grab that link really quick. I know we have someone here already that I know has questions, and we'll bring him on in a second. But let me just go ahead and post the link on Facebook for anyone that's on there. So interestingly enough, because I'm doing this social media break, if my laptop has a program on it that blocks all social media, and there's literally nothing I can do to get on social media right now on my laptop. I'm doing something similar on my PC, but there's a way to kind of bypass that. So I'm bypassing that for right now to post the link to Zoom. right now. So if you're watching on Facebook and you want to come over and ask a question, feel free to do that there. The Scooby Life is in the house. What's up? So glad to have you here. Cool stuff, cool stuff. All right, so we have someone here on Zoom that I'm sure has a question. I am gonna pop him on the screen. Wait, Philip, first of all, do you have a question? You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
I do.
You do? Okay, hold on. Let me pop you on the screen really quick and go ahead and ask. Wait, yep, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Hi, Leslie.
Hello.
Yeah, this evening I was working on, trying to edit some of the video that I have taken.
Mm-hmm.
And this video is going to be used as marketing material.
Okay.
And as you're familiar, it's about construction and building of a house. And there are many exciting sort of imageries or action-oriented movements and some machines and sound. I just, have iMovie. That's kind of what's there already in my MacBook. So I just use that. But very simple, silly, like a basic question. But I want to know, I like something very intuitive. I'm not very technical. And for people like me, what would be the best editing video as of now? What do you recommend, if not iMovie that I already have?
Gotcha. So are you familiar with using iMovie already?
Very basic function. I haven't gotten depth into it, but I have created some birthday movies or just family kind of thing.
And your videos, what's the structure of the videos? Is it just, with the camera? Are you recording your screen? What are you actually doing?
I'm using those two types of video that I learned from your blogs, right? The screen and then the slide camera.
Gotcha.
Trying to utilize both methods.
Okay,
yeah.
So if you are trying to use both, the program that I would recommend for you is ScreenFlow. ScreenFlow is really good when it comes to recording your screen, but it also allows you to bring in, footage from a camera, and that works really well. What I like about ScreenFlow is that it's very easy. It's relatively simple. I find that it's even easier than iMovie. If you were just doing video of you on camera and anything with camera, I might recommend iMovie. But since you're also doing screen recordings, ScreenFlow is the way to go. That's what I use for just about all of my screen recordings, and then I add it in with my camera. I use Adobe Premiere, but Adobe Premiere is much more complicated, so it's not what I would recommend for someone that's just getting into video editing. So ScreenFlow, that'll do everything you need it to do.
Cool.
Awesome. Sweet. That takes care of your question?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, ScreenFlow is a great piece of software, and I think it costs about $100, but it's worth the cost. It's worth it because of. I wish I had if this was on my Mac right now, I'd show you how simple it is. But you can literally just drag things around. You can cut. You can do all the things. You can put the transitions. You can do all of that stuff. So it makes it really easy to do it.
Cool. Thank you. We'll try.
You are very much welcome. All right. Hey, if you are on Facebook or YouTube and you have a question, we'll take that. If you don't have questions, that's perfectly fine. We can make this short. Philip, if you have another question, you can just let me know and we can take your question as well. Did you have any more questions, Philip, or was that it?
Yeah, that was it for me for now.
Sweet. All right, so I don't see any questions on YouTube or Facebook right now, which is not a bad thing. You know, not every week we'll have people with questions, and if that's the case, we just end things a little early, and that is perfectly fine. Just as a reminder, we will be doing this every Thursday. As of right now, we're going to be doing it every Thursday. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to move it to earlier in the week. And the main reason for that is I find myself on Thursdays and we're getting to the end of the week kind of like, oh, I'm a little tired. That's just the reality of, you know, working all week and coming to the end of the week. So it's possible that I might change that up a little bit. As of right now, we're going to keep it there. Let's see. A. Cooper is saying, I'm typing. Go ahead and type your question and I'll take it. I'll stick along. All right. So we do have a question here. Pop that on the screen. She says, my husband and I are setting up a podcast right now. Would it be okay to add a link to your YouTube video in our show notes? Absolutely. So there's never going to be a situation where someone is going to ask me, hey, do you mind if I promote your stuff? And I will say, no, please don't promote my stuff. That won't happen. If it is something that provides value to your audience, if it's relevant to what you are talking about, sure, feel free to do that. I have absolutely no problem with that. I just realized that I wasn't putting the comment for those that are on Zoom to see it, so I'm gonna do that here from now on. But yes, feel free to share anything that I create, whether it's on your podcast or however you want to share it. I should be saying this throughout this live stream. If you're on social media right now, go ahead and share this with people that can find value in it. Share it on your timelines, share it anywhere. I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for thinking about doing that. I really do value that and I appreciate that very much. Okay, so another question is from A.M. Dalton. Can we still log into the members area and do the courses? Will you be adding content anymore? Thanks, Anne-Marie. Oh, Anne-Marie, what's up? Great question. So her question has to do with people that were members of my coaching club. My coaching club was a membership that I had teaching people how to blog and grow their businesses with blogs. And Anne-Marie, if you obviously were a member of the coaching club, yes, you can still log into the members area and access anything that is there. I have that there available for anyone that was a member of the coaching club. I will not be adding any more content in the members area. However, I will be creating more content and courses and workshops and all that stuff. The only difference is I'm going to be doing it for free and I'm going to be putting it right here on YouTube. I just sent the first of a series of courses to be edited with my video editor. And we're going to be launching that course relatively soon. It's going to be on the topic of how do you track your social media activities? In other words, how can you set it up so that you can say, hey, that one post that I made on Facebook brought, and a specific post, it brought 16 visitors to my blog. And of those 16 visitors, 3 of them purchased this product that I have for sale. So I'm going to be showing exactly how to set that up in Google Analytics so that you can track exactly what is going on from your posting on social media, from your sharing your different links, as opposed to just guessing and saying, hey, I'm getting traffic from Facebook. Now you're going to be able to say that post that I made on that day on this Facebook page drove this number of visitors and so on. So yes, I'm going to continue to create courses and content. The only difference is you're not going to have to pay for it. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that. Yeah, I'm just going to post it out there freely for people. Let's see. A. Cooper says, you're the best. We appreciate you so much. It will definitely be relevant. I am so glad to hear that. Yes, as long as it's relevant and helpful to your audience, go ahead and share it with them. That's why I create this content. The content that I create is to help people. I I've realized that part of my mission on this earth is to create content that not only inspires but educates people on how they can, how they can put value out there in the world, how they can start their blogs and podcasts, and how they can use it in a way to start a business and grow that business and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm here for. All right, I don't see any other questions. Oh, I do see a question that just popped up. So I'm going to pop you back on the screen, Philip, and go ahead with your next question.
All right. So talking about the courses and creating content, I just popped up another question.
Yep.
You're like anything procrastinating or I'm stuck, I'm kind of like asking your tips. I'm writing a detailed outline for a curriculum that I'm creating for my ministry. And at the very moment, I'm kind of dragging it, procrastinating, and not being able to really get into it. If you have any kind of tips on creating educational curriculum, I would be very much appreciated.
Absolutely. What is the goal of the course that you're creating?
It is so that a newcomer or newly introduced to this ministry, a nonprofit I'm launching, we're moving that membership that is just newly introduced into like a member kind of category, and then eventually to like a leader kind of category.
Okay, I need you to be a little, I need you to clarify that for me because I was a little unclear based on what you're saying. So the course is for who and what will it help them accomplish?
Yeah, maybe I should start there. First of all, the nonprofit, it is a faith-based. So first thing that I'd like to introduce, what is a Christian, faith? So that is something that I'd like to establish. And then next is the vision for what we're trying to achieve in the ministry, which is helping the churches and communities by training tradesmen and craftsmen so that they can go and help churches and communities. So, about our vision and, the Christian faith basics. So that's kind of a nutshell.
Gotcha. So it gives the basics of the Christian faith, but then it also equips those. Does it equip the builders or does it equip the people that are recruiting? Oh, so it equips the builders to do what exactly? I know I'm asking the same question over and over, but it's because I'm trying to get some even more clarity. So the foundations of our faith, and you as a builder will be able to do what at the end?
To do the carpentry, electrical, mechanical, or designing. Basically, we provide equipping services for any kind of building design related through apprenticeship programs.
Okay, so I'm a builder. I'm a Christian. I'm in a church, and I'm helping to build a church. Am I helping to build something in particular at the church, or am I responsible for maintenance of the church? What exactly is it?
So stepping a little bit back, there are two categories. One is you don't even have to be a builder. You can be just laborer without any prior knowledge. Mm-hmm. So in that case, we'll equip you to any of type of builders. If you're a builder, that's a professional category. And then for that case, we'll be connecting you with more, faith-based, or have you lead other volunteers. And, so going to your question, like helping churches maintain their church building. So it'll be light repairs and renovations.
Got it. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm literally just asking you questions to get you to clarify in your mind even more what this course is about, who it's for, and what the end result will be. Because that's exactly where you want to start. So the first thing I would do is I would write it down. The outcome of this course is to equip builders, or whatever you want to call them, to maintain the church and do it well. and to give them a strong biblical foundation for what they're going through, why they're doing it, and how they're doing it, and so on. The next thing I would do, and this is what I do with any course that I'm going to be creating, I'm going to start with an outline because it's easy to kind of just get in there and start, hey, this is the content for the first video, and this is the content for the second, and so on. And then when you get through it, you realize, wait, I missed this, and then I missed that, and all that stuff. So I would ask myself, in order to accomplish that outcome, what are the components that I have to have in this course? And just outline it. Do the initial outline, and it's kind of like a general overview outline. And then go in and fill in some of those details. And then from there, it's just more filling in, right? I don't know if you're planning on scripting your videos or if you're just gonna go based on an outline, but you're basically just at every point going deeper and deeper and deeper until you have something that is good enough. And when I say good enough for you to use to create the videos that you need to create. That's the process that I go through. Sometimes, depending on what, like right now, I'm doing a course. I first started with the outline. Next thing I'm doing, in terms of making it more detailed, is I'm writing a script for each of the videos that's going to be a part of this course. And then from there, I will go and record the videos. That's the process I go through for every course, and it works well. The outlining part, though, I find that to be very important because it helps you to see the full picture first before you go in and start dealing with the minutia. Now, just in terms of like a tactical thing that I'm doing right now that's really helping, in the morning when I finish my personal stuff, one of the first things that I do before I get into any work is I write for at least 30 minutes. And I do that every day except Saturday, so 6 days a week. And what I find is that by doing that, I'm getting content created like so easily. My course is pretty much just about fully scripted already because I've been doing that consistently. And now all I got to do is record the videos and then get them edited. So those will be my tips for getting that course created.
Love it. Thank you so much. Very helpful.
You are so very much welcome. Glad to help. All right, let's go with a question that's kind of similar, but a little different. CVD asks on YouTube, hi Leslie, what is the process to follow when trying to create content? That is a very good, a good question. I think the process looks different for different people. I will tell you what the process looks like for me. The process looks, and he or she says, it sounds like you just answered my question. I was gonna reiterate some of the things that I just said to Philip. For me, but there's one step before that. I will plan out, a list of content ideas, because with Philip, there's one course that he's trying to create, and that course has one outcome. But when it comes to your content creation, whether you're a blogger or a podcaster or a YouTuber or anything of that sort, you're going to be creating a bunch of content on different topics within your different subtopics within your main topic. All right. So one of the things that I like to do is just make a list of questions that my ideal target person, the person that I'm trying to reach, what questions do they have? And I will literally just make a huge list of that. And once you have that huge list of that, you can kind of put it in a sequence. Okay, first I'm going to talk about these topics, and then this, and then this, and then maybe you might have it, based on, this month I'm talking about some of the foundational things, and the next month I'm talking about, whatever it is within your niche. Now you have a plan for the content that you want to create over time. The next thing then is creating the content. And the beauty of thinking about it beforehand is now you have a list. You don't have to be like, oh, I need to create a blog post for next week. What should I do? Let me come up with ideas. No, you already have the list. So go to that list and tick the next one. And with that next one, now you can start with your outline, and then you can start creating that content. it depends on whether you're doing a podcast or video or written content. That's going to depend on how you structure that. For example, if it's an article, you start with the outline and then you just write the article. If it's a video, you might start with the outline and just use the outline for recording the videos. Or like me, you may be scripting the videos. It just all depends on how you do things and the kind of content you're going to be doing. If it's a podcast, you might just have an outline and you can, talk based on that outline. Personally, I like to write out articles before I do anything else. So even my videos, I script it out. My podcast episode, I'm not going to script out the podcast episode, but I'll outline it and then I'll write an article for it. That helps me to flesh out my thoughts even more. And it also gives me now an article that I can use for my show notes. So it has dual purpose. That's how I will generally create my content. I do have, where is that available? I have a spreadsheet that can help you come up with like your content calendar. And I think if you go to, let me just check, bloggingspreadsheet.com, is that it? Yes, that is it. I have to remind myself because I haven't said it in a while. If you go to bloggingspreadsheet.com, what that will give you is a spreadsheet that I created for planning out your content. Now, I'm just realizing that the one that's there is for 2020. I need to now start working on the 2021 and get that out there. But at least you can plan out your content for the rest of 2020 and have that so that you can see, hey, this is when I'm going to be creating these different pieces of content. And that's a great way to plan your content out so that it just makes it easy for you to say, okay, this is what's next. I'm going to do that next. All right. I hope that helps. And I hope that answers your question even more, even though I know the previous answer was also relevant to what you were asking as well. Okay, well, I don't see any more questions. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. And those of you that are watching the replay, I hope you got some value from this as well. Just as a reminder, we're doing this every week at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. As of right now, it may change at some point in the future, but we will continue to do that on a weekly basis. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're not watching on YouTube, but you can hop over to YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel and tap that bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I go live or whenever I create more content. There is a tracking social media course coming very soon. It is now being edited and I'm hoping to have that posted within the next few weeks or so. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you again for being here. I see A. Cooper is saying, thank you so much, Leslie. CVD says, very valuable. I am so glad to hear that. I'm so glad that I'm able to do this and provide value to you in this way. You all have an amazing rest of the night, and I'll see you all next week. Take care, guys.